everybody, and welcome to today's edition of Locking It Down with Lucy. Apologies for the late start. I was washing my hands. Well, that sounds like a weird start. I was washing my hands. Well, that's why I was late. Well, I was washing my hands. Basically, let me start again. I was doing some last minute painting, and therefore I needed to wash my hands from the paint because I didn't want to get any paint over the keyboard. Painting is a messy business, let me tell you. So the painting, oh my God, tomorrow I need to do the last bit of painting. I had to do some touch-ups because there was an error on my part that happened when I was finishing the painting. I pulled off the masking tape and some bits came off and I had to redo certain areas. I was like, why? So yeah, I was doing that and then I had to sort myself out, and here I am. Hooray, we're here, hopefully. So welcome. It's episode 268. Woo! Ba ba da ba 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 ba. And it's the first episode of 2026. Happy New Year! Happy New Year. The end of the bathroom troubles is oh please, it's got to be done by the end of next week. Oh my God, it's too much. There was something else that sort of went down that I can't really remember. Oh well, we'll find out. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what went wrong. The shower didn't turn on. So he's going to have to come back and look at what the shower's going on, but more about that later. So hi, Happy New Year, guys. Welcome. Sorry, I do look a bit crappy because I wanted to wash my hair, but I couldn't. So I'm going to have to go to my parents' house tomorrow to wash my hair. At least I can have a bath here. Like, at least progress has been made. I can now bathe in my home. It's just a pain in the ass to wash your hair in the bath. Like, you have to like get in there. Plus, I noticed that all of the mastic or the sealant around the bath isn't 100% finished. There's still gaps. So I'm like trying to be super careful. So Lucy washing her hands after spending so oh guys, I was just washing my hands after a light bit of murder. So welcome, guys. Happy New Year. Thanks for returning. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. It's a new year. And I had a great idea today. We'll say some people in the chat, but well, actually, let's say hello, and I'll get to you to my great idea. So I think this is a fantastic idea that's going to help me with my 2026. But get excited for that. So we've got Jane saying, "Hey Lucy, hey everyone, Happy New Year." Currently watching the darts as well as Lucy. Enjoy 180. Terrence is saying Happy New Year to you. Woo! Multitasking power wash simulator. Ooh, I'm glad I could be your power wash multitasking buddy. Ian Crawley saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Fabio is saying hi. Hello everyone. Happy New Year. Dusty says good old 2026 evening. Oh, I'm all secret Santed out, mate. It was quite the time. Skip to the end says I'm currently watching this stream whilst grinding, literally and figuratively, in Skate. See what you did there, Skip to the end. Love it. Enagram says hello Lucy, hello everyone, and Happy New Year to you all. Now, how long do you say Happy New Year to? Until? Is it still the end of January that it's like, oh yeah, Happy New Year? Like, that's going to be every meeting next week. I don't want to go back. Don't take me back. Oh, come on. I think I remembered it. Says, Happy New Year, one and all. Happy New Year, one and all. Chris J says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Dodie Farrell says, good evening and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, says it's Dario. Great to see you. KLP TV, you're saying evening and Happy New Year. So yeah, oh, M saying Happy New Year, everyone. Oh, it's lovely to see everybody. Ghost in Hale is also saying Happy New Year, Lucy in chat. Yeah. Babu24 is saying evening, Lucy. Hello, evening to you too. Wes saying hi, Lucy in chat. Jacob Noah saying Happy New Year. Oh, this is lovely. Everyone's here. Everyone's wishing each other Happy New Year. It's very cozy, isn't it? So thanks, guys, for being so lovely and for being here. Now I'm going to talk about my life. No, it sucks. No, I'm not really. Not today. Although I will a little bit later. So yeah, let's get it going. I've got something to drink today, and then I'll tell you my great idea. So the poll today is, do you have any New Year's goals set? It's a very even poll here. 42% of you are saying yes, and 58% of you are saying no. I don't really have any goals because evidently, I don't know. I feel like the 31st of December felt the same as the 1st of January, to be quite honest, just the next day. But, you know, it's figurative. It's a brand new year. 2026 is sounding old, man. It's getting old. Oh, my God. We're going to be alive in 2030, God willing. So that's weird. But, yeah, my main thing is I want to just try and get better at waking up and being motivated and seizing the day and just trying to like, so obviously I do feel like over Christmas, I mean, I have been being good. I think I'm maybe a bit too harsh on myself, but I do have a dear friend of mine who Babu will know, who she does so much and I'm in awe of her. Like she's like going to work, she's always doing her best stuff at work, and then after work she has work activities, and then she's so creative and she does lots of things. And I'm like, how does she do it all? I'm in awe. I get home and I'm like, but I want to wake up and not be like, oh, I want to wake up like, yeah. So here's my plan, everybody. I literally just thought of it right now, and I might get copyright struck for this, but you know what? It's probably worth it. Why's my dad texting me? Sorry, my dad has asked me if when I come to shower tomorrow if I want to eat hot dogs. If you do it here for 12 p.m. for your shower. My dad, I quite like my dad's hot dogs. I'm not going to poo-poo them. You probably will, but no thanks, Dad. No thanks. I'll eat before I come. So just gotta do my family admin before I. Although I did reply to him earlier and said no, it's okay. All right, arrive. I'm gonna get there. Just so you know my life. No thanks. I'll eat before I arrive. I'll get there for 1 p.m. Well, there we go. Done. And also every text message begins with Lucy. Always Lucy. You can't really see it, but Lucy this, Lucy that. He's got to address you because tomorrow we're going to see my grandma. So I thought I'll go there, have a shower, then go to my grandma's. What's wrong with your dad's hot dogs? Dropped in text with Lucy. You just live with me for an hour and a half on Locking It Down with Lucy. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but I think you guys would probably be like, those are some bad looking hot dogs. It's literally just the Cumberland sausage in a tiny little, I don't know, bun, I suppose, and then some tomato ketchup poured on it. So I like the hot dogs, but I'm sure other people wouldn't. So right, I'm gonna get this up because I think this is like, I want to feel motivated. I think I struggle with motivation. So we've got some other people rolling in. So Dave is saying, evening Lucy in chat, happy new year to you. Yeah, I just wake up in the morning, I'm like, I don't want to look at my phone in the morning, so I might do that thing where I put my phone like away from the bed, so he respects your identity as a person, so he calls you by your name. That's a lovely way of putting that. Although at home he'll just call me girl, so there is that. Yeah, so I want to put my phone away so that in the morning I'm forced to get up and not scroll. I'm going to try and drink a whole glass of water when I wake up. I'm going to drink a glass of water in its entirety, because apparently that's meant to be good as well. The hot dogs are not soapy, thankfully. Yeah, although they may be gone off. That was one thing that he did cook me some gone off sausages once. So I'm thinking, what if I set an alarm in the morning and this is the alarm? I think this is banging, everybody. Like, get ready to hear the alarm. This would drive, if I lived with someone else, this would drive them absolutely up the wall. In fact, if anyone can hear the alarms in the flat, which they might be able to, it will drive them insane. But here we go. Are you ready for this? My 2026 alarm clock. Who doesn't want to get out of bed to this? He's always on the theme. Fireman Sam. Fireman Sam, you cannot ignore. Sam is the hero next door. What a song! Oh, how can you not want to jump out of bed? When he calls the da-da-da. You'll be running around your house, wouldn't you? It would be fantastic. I think that's a great alarm. I mean, it probably might get a bit boring after a week, but Fireman Sam, he's not lying in bed scrolling, is he? He's getting up because he's always on the scene. Fireman Sam. His engine's bright and clean. Fireman Sam. You cannot ignore Sam as the hero next door. So I want to be the hero next door. Maybe not. Not with how I'm acting right now. But isn't that great? Oh, that's a banger right there. So you know, skip to the end. Yeah, a childhood nostalgia unlocked. I can't really hear it. Maybe I should play it normally. In fact, I'd probably play it on here. It's because I was probably whacking the thing around. But just type in Fireman Sam theme tune, but make sure you've got the original one. If I just play it normally, I'll try not to dance. It's so hard not to dance. But he's a motivator. I find motivation in Fireman Sam. So I'm going to give it a try. What if the alarm goes off? The mic's not really getting... Well, you'll just have to Google it, and then I won't get copyright struck. Google the Fireman Sam music. It sounds like... It starts off with an alarm clock and goes... When he... Da, 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 da. That's way too cheery for morning. I would throw the phone across the room. I'd give it a couple of days before you drop kick your phone out the window. Well, I'm going to try, because I think that's going to get me up in the morning, and it's a banger. You can't not dance to it. Fireman Sam is a heroic icon, okay, as firemen are. So he was there for me when I was a child. Maybe he can come back and help me in the morning. Yeah, you don't want to see how they massacred my boy with the crappy reboot. Nah, the original is so good. So yeah, I'm going to give that a try. Anyone else got any things that they're going to do for the New Year's? Anyone else going to play childhood theme music to wake themselves up in the morning? I'm not sure what else would be a good appropriate theme song to wake up. But I just remember thinking about it because I was like, oh, the alarm rings. And I just heard that alarm bell and I was like, Fireman Sam. Fireman Sam is... KLPTV says, oh my God, Fireman Sam, my favourite show as a kid. Got to get up and fight fire, says Wiz. Absolutely. See, I got to get up. Because the morning time is precious time. You got to get up. You got to do things. And then you can relax later. Best kids TV show ever. They got Bob the Builder as well. With the new Bob the Builder song. I've not heard that one. But Bob the Builder, you know, he's also a working man. He's getting up there. He's building things, okay? In times of crisis, look to your Play-Doh plasticine heroes. Wallace and Gromit, he's always getting up, isn't he? The alarm clock rings. Well, he is a bit lazy, Wallace, because his alarm clock goes and he just slides out of bed and then has breakfast served to him. But I suppose that's one way of getting out of bed. You know, all these people, you don't see your cartoon heroes go, wake up, oh, just going to snooze for 10, 15 minutes, just going to do nothing. No, they're getting up, and I want to get up too. So I'm going to go to bed after this stream. That's my plan. I'm going to bed so I can wake up early, because I got to do the painting tomorrow, the final bit of painting, before I can go to my parents and shower and see my grandma. And maybe do some editing. I don't know why I'm always so bloody busy. I think I make myself artificially busy. Christ. I normally wake up to the sound of the ocean hitting the beach and birds. Oh, that's lovely. Did you know that before alarm clocks, there were people whose jobs were walking around the town and knocking on people's windows to wake them up? I did not know that, but that is pretty cool. Beetle, thanks so much for being a member of the XP Zone. I appreciate it. My parents liked Fireman Sam just as much as I did. There were certain jokes that went over the kids' heads. I don't really remember much about it. I just remember the banging theme song. It's been a while since I've been around here, so I have a question. What's the crown thingy next to my name? So I think it means that you've written the most, like the second most amount of comments. I don't know. YouTube does weird and wonderful things. Matrix, Happy New Year to you too. Right, as we're celebrating the new year, one must have a celebratory drink. So let's get this out of the way. The other reason I was also in the kitchen, I realised I had to wash up a glass because you know what? We have to be. This is the 6th year of Locking It Down with Lucy. We're starting year 6 today. Blimey. So I've got a little delicacy here. All right. So I have some Prosecco that, as you can see, I've already opened. And I was able to use my wine stopper. It's hard to really tell, but I don't want to... I'm very precious over the technical items. But this was a wine stopper that I got from South Africa. So I don't know why I got a wine stopper, but I just like cheetahs. And this one had a cheetah on it. And I was like, I'm going to get that. So I've got some Prosecco here. But I'm going to pair it with something. I have been going to IKEA a lot, as you can imagine. And I found lingonberry. Chris J, you might know. Lingonberry drink concentrate. So I'm going to be putting this and mixing my Prosecco with it. So as you can see, I've already done it. But I think you can have this with just water as well. Drink concentrate. Yeah, dilute 1 part and 6 parts water. So I think it's a bit sticky. So I'm going to... No, Fireman Sam! He's always on the move. But oh, Christian says it's freaking delicious. And I'm doing it right. Doing it right. I did have some fancy cheese at Christmas. Here we go. Looks like hand washing, of course. I do not own a dishwasher, so... Okay, let's put A little bit of this. Oh, it's very thick. Oh, that is. I've never actually had it by itself. Oh, that's strong. That's like medicine strong. I don't know where I put the lid. Where did I put the lid? Whoops. I've misplaced the lid somewhere. Bugger. That's annoying. Where did I put that? I need an action replay. I took it off with the thing. Oh, it's here. It's in the thing still. I mean, okay. Maybe I am a little on the tipsy side because I did. So this morning, I finally got round to recording my end of year wrap up video. Sorry, it's just taken a long time because I've got so much admin to do. It's just been annoying. So during that, I did have a tipple of Baileys. Then I went out for lunch and got myself a little tipple of Bailey's hot chocolate. And now I'm drinking Prosecco. So, you know, it's a happy new year. But tomorrow we're starting afresh. We're waking up. We're drinking our water. We're listening to Fireman Sam. All right, here we go. Beautiful. Generous helping because I don't have thin glasses. So this is the official. Cheers, everybody. And a happy new year. Oh, that is lovely. And it's our final Friday of the holidays. Tomorrow's Saturday, supposed to be sleep. No, it's like that awful thing. Thank you for the cheers, everyone. It's like that awful thing after holidays. You have to start getting yourself back on schedule. Because on Monday I have to wake up and go to work, and I don't want to wake up and be like. I mean, I'm sure everyone will be like that, but I want to be fine and sound. I want to be on Monday. I'm like. I want to be on it, man. I don't want to be the Oscar the Grouch at my keyboard. I want to try and, you know, be alive. And that starts tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll wake up early. Also on Sunday, I've got to wake up early anyway because I've got a family do. So, doo-hoo! Just going to tell you all my life plans so that you can, you know, follow along. So here we go. Woo! Yeah, let's not talk about work anymore. Skull is what we say here. Have I said that right? So, fun times. We're gonna live it up, and locking it down, Lucy. Woo! So, what's coming up on the show today? Nothing really. I mean, no, actually, there's quite a lot of things, to be fair. I have played a lot of games. But coming up in the week, I need to figure out my plans because I'm either meeting a dear friend on Thursday or Friday. But we don't know yet because we're waiting for our other dear friend to get back to us to let us know what her schedule is. So once I know about that, I'll be able to know when Locking It Down with Lucy is. If it's Friday or is it Thursday? This show is like Thursday or Friday sometime. So that'll be happening. Then the week after that, just to give you the general plan. So yeah, next week, show is either the 8th or the 9th. And the week after that, the show will then actually be on Fridays because I'm back in the US, everyone. Look, it's awful living here. It's cold. It's damp. Like, literally, I went to bed the other day and my bed was, like, wet with damp. So I will be in the US for a bit, so the show will be on Fridays. But there will be one Friday where I won't be able to do the show because I've got to go to a thing for work. Is it a work thing? I've just got to go to a thing in the daytime, so I won't be able to stream then. But other than that, I'm going to try and finish editing the end of year wrap up video. This will go through some general stats, my platinums that I got in the year, my thoughts on that, ranking the platinums, and then my game of the year ranking of all the new games I played this year. So film that today. Hopefully I'm going to try and spend like an hour or two each day just like whittling it down among doing all my admin. So there is that, and that's what I do want to stream. I think once all this bathroom stuff is finished, then I'll be able to like get back to life because I've got like going to shower at my parents literally is like a 3-hour round trip. It takes so much time out of the day. I'm not even kidding. I have to Obviously, it takes like an hour to get there because it's on the bus because I can't drive. Then obviously I've got a shower, I've got to at least say hello or whatever. And then I feel bad after my dad's giving me a lift back all the time. Like sometimes he gives me a lift, sometimes he doesn't. But if I don't, then it's another hour back. So that's 3 hours out of the day to shower. It's like such a nightmare. So that's annoying. So that takes a lot of time out. Then obviously I'm trying to paint the bathroom, which is also takes time. And then I have to go to the shops to buy things for the bathroom because now I'm just going the whole hog now. Like maybe I'm going a bit insane because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. But now I'm like, it's a nice new bathroom. So out with the old, in with the new. So I'm buying like new bathroom stuff, like a new bin, a new toothbrush holder. Because now the color scheme's all different. So I've got to do that. And then obviously I've got the people coming back on... I've got a delivery on Monday. Well, they haven't even put the flipping sink in yet. The sink is still here. Well, actually, the sink's not actually here, but the cabinet for the sink is here. So they've got to come out next week, finish it up. So we'll see. Maybe next week I'll be able to shower in my flat. But can you believe it? Like I went. So let's do highlights and lowlights, everybody, because I'm starting to go into it anyway. So let me know what your highlights and lowlights are for this week or the year, whichever you prefer. So. Yeah, my low light was I thought I did all the painting. Oh my God, because I had to do the plaster paint. So that's 2 coats of plaster paint. And then after the plaster paint and painting the ceiling as well. Painting the ceiling is a pain in the ass. After that, I had to do 1 coat of the colour paint and then another coat of the colour paint. So that's 4 coats of paints in this bathroom. Then I had to like tidy up all the edges and go and do the skirting board. So then it was the skirting board that had to be done. Then I was like, finally, I can shower. I turned on the shower. Turned the dial, and then no water came out. And I was like, why? I thought we were good. I don't know what's happened, because I'm pretty sure the guy tested before he left. So I had to text him. But I was nice. I texted him today, not New Year's Day. So that's annoying. So hopefully they'll be able to fix that out. So and I'm working. I'm not going on holiday, guys. I am working. So Lucy and her vacations. Look, if you have the opportunity, you got to take it, because literally my flat's awful in Christmas. I'm telling you, I've started to put the dehumidifier on 2 hours before I go to bed, because that helps suck it out. And in the morning, one of the things I've got to do as part of my Fireman Sam routine is I have to wake up in the morning and open the window immediately to like let all the damp out. Oh God, it's literally gross. I hate it. I don't know why my bedroom is so cold. Also, my toilet keeps sweating now, which my toilet didn't used to do. And by that, I mean like the cistern keeps dripping water like from the outside, because apparently the water is too cold on the inside and it's too warm on the outside, even though it's not even warm in my flat. So there's like a constant like dribble of water. My old toilet never did this. And so I have to keep mopping that up. But someone said it could be a leak. But I tried food colouring, and the toilet is nervous about the renovations. I do enjoy that. But yeah, I tried to test if it's a leak by putting food colouring in the top of it, and apparently not. I mean, home ownership, man. It's a lot. So that's my main low light of the week. And I suppose my low light of the year is the bathroom breaking. Like, it has been such a effort, a lot of planning, a lot of doing whatever. Oh, annoying. And like also having to do the painting over Christmas. Oh, that was so hard as well. I know I'm saying like, blah, 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 blah. But it was just hard because all I wanted to do was play the PlayStation. But each day I had to wake up and be like, come on, Lucy. You just have to paint the thing. It's going to take 3 hours. It will be okay. Let's do it. It's just like, I feel like I need a break from doing all of the admin. But what can you do? I mean, I'm happy with it now, because I feel like now I can feel pleased that I did do it. I got up and I sorted myself out and I made it happen. So I suppose that's good. Right. Enough about me. Bored of listening to my problems. KRP TV says only highlight this week is Locking It Down with Lucy. Well, thanks. I'm glad I could be here to make that a highlight for you. Lola, it's been the beginning of January, which is mine and my mum's least favorite month. Well, snap. It's also my least favorite month. I hate January. It's actually, I think the problem with the UK is that in the past it used to feel like, oh, it's getting colder because it's coming up to Christmas. Oh, we're putting our coats on in November. Oh, December, January, we're out of the woods now. It's going to get better. No, January, you're not out of the woods. It's going to get colder, and it's even more depressing because you're not even like looking forward to Christmas. You're just out of it. So I hate it. That's another reason why I'm like, fuck this, getting out of here for January. Let's go. So yeah, that Sucks. And I'm sorry, and also it feels like the longest month ever. No one has any money. There's nothing to do. Boring. But we'll make it through. Thank you, Ghost. I appreciate it. Terrence says, highlight is locked it down with Lucy. Thank you very much. I start my vacation today. Nice. I like no more loose thoughts. My submission did get picked, assuming it went through. Oh no. Well, I'm sorry. That happened. Richard is saying highlight started Red Dead Redemption remastering. God damn, I'm in love again. Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying. Enagram says highlight looking at down on Lucy. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Increase my movie collection further. Had another 3-day week work. Nice. And the challenges in Red Dead 1, you're also playing Red Dead, are frustrating. Getting a bit frustrating. Yeah, they do start to get a bit tedious. I remember them well. But just take your time and enjoy, hopefully. James saying highlights, looked it down with Lucy. Thank you very much. The members hang out and got my 26th platinum and first platinum of 2026 Power Wash Simulator at PS5. Very nice. We love a shiny highlight here on the show. Lowlights, went back to work today and the weather was so cold and icy. Oh my god, it's going to be -1, -2. It's coming. Winter is really coming. Let's see, where was I? The thing skipped. Low light, working 66 hours this week, says Chris J. Damn, good luck. Hopefully you can have a rest on the other side. And a snowstorm. Damn, that's crazy. I don't even know what a snowstorm, I guess, do you just stay indoors for that? How do you cope with that? Highlight, Platts 219, very nice. Daxter and 220, Resistance Retribution. The latter game having the worst / best Cockney accent I've ever heard. Very good. Wes says highlight the end of Secret Santa. I won a voucher. Nice. Might take part in Return to Lordran, a yearly revisit of Dark Souls 1. I saw this on Reddit and I didn't quite understand it, but I guess it's just you replay Dark Souls 1, which sounds nice. I love Dark Souls 1. God, what a game. Enjoy if you do that, I hope. It is a lovely, lovely game. Dusty B70 says highlight Secret Santa, month of fun with the awesome and insanely generous Luke. Yes, indeed. Very good. And low light, it's bloody freezing. There might be snow next week. No. Highlight 4 shinies in December. Low light back to work on Monday. No, Dusty. No. Say it's not so. I don't want to go back. Yeah, well, it's more like I just want to have some chill time. I feel like I'm not even chilled. But bro, I've not even chilled. But congrats on your platinums. And yes, Secret Santa was fantastic. Highlight got the Wu Chang Fallen Feathers platinum. Nice. Lots of people getting their platinums this weekend, which is cool this week. Lowlight got the Wu Chang Fallen Feathers platinum. Game is stress. I don't know if I would ever play that game, but congrats. We're saying end of Christmas break and I have to go back to work on Monday. Nah. I guess the good thing about it being Monday is that most people are going back to work on Monday, so I suppose we're all going to be in for a shock. Lowlight is general adulting, always and forever. I feel you. This is me feeling you, but not in a weird way. It's too much sometimes, adulting. It's like I can't. Sometimes I'm just like. Jacob says highlight lock it down with Lucy. Thank you very much. And Wolverine and Forza 6, etc. is 2026. Yes. That's pretty cool, actually. That's this year. Xbox turned 25 years old on November 15th. I love snow, and a snowstorm called Anna is hovering over Sweden. Nice. Yeah, I wonder what Xbox is going to do to celebrate 25 years. Although, do you really celebrate the half years? Like, I don't know if PlayStation did anything for 25 years. I don't remember what we did, if anything. But it'd be interesting how they celebrate 30. KRP TV says, I think my highlight this year is my trip to London back in June. First time I've ever been there, so it was great to see all the sights, particularly Big Ben. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed coming to London. Well, the same bonus hangout was the members hangout. Thank you very much. Same as Terrence. Thanks so much for joining. It was lovely to hang out with you all. Fabio says highlight the New Year party, and lowlight it's raining. Yeah, it's like, oh, I gotta move all my shit back. I've got so much stuff under my desk here. Dirty Pharrell says highlight stepping down from my manager role at work, so it should be less stressful. Also close to Death Stranding 2 platinum. Well, I hope it all goes well for you this year, Dirty Pharrell, and congrats on your platinum. Lowlight, it's cold. I know we're saying it's cold, everybody. It's not in the UK, but I'm telling you, it's cold. My face was hurting the other day. Cold. That's how cold it was. Jacob says I like my sofa blocks the heating in my room so it's cold, but we'll remove it soon. What to say? Totally agree with Lucy. And what's also annoying is all the people all of a sudden trying to be the shit. I think that's shit, and they ain't. And I'm exhausted by all those. Oh yeah, January. Yeah, veganary dry January BS. Like yeah, it's just a lot. Do what you got to do to be honest. Like there is a lot going down in every day, and it's pretty exhausting when you think about all the things you have to do. And you have to be on top of everything. Like not to bang on about this bathroom again, but my issue is, and I keep thinking about this. Like whenever something happens in this, I think to myself, what would happen if that thing happened to me in my job? Like, what would I do? What am I responsible for? And honestly, I'm trying to do my job at the same time. I'm trusting you to do your job, like how at my job, I'm being trusted to do my job. So sometimes I'm just like in my mind being like, should I have known how to do this? Why am I chasing you guys all the time? I'm paying you to do something. I'm not your manager. Like you should be doing the thing, but it's just too much. Anyway, hopefully January we can just all chill out a bit. IGNCO says, howdy, first time in the chat. Well, howdy, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, anyone, you feel free to chat, or you can just listen in the background. I'm just happy to provide some background noise, or just to lighten your day up if I can. I'm here just to help things out. Oh, my dad's replied, okay, and he said, okay, so I went round tomorrow to have a shower. The best shower in the world. Actually, this shower pressure's pretty bad, to be honest. But beggars can't be choosers, so I shan't moan. What's feeling you back, but not in a weird way? What do they do in Hunger Games? I've never watched Hunger Games, but what's that when they're like, oh, what's that? I'm doing that to you, whatever that is. I've never seen it. I don't know what she's doing. Just got the platinum in Borderlands 4. The grind trophy was a drag. Decent game though. Yeah, I don't know if I will play it myself, but congrats. I'm glad you enjoyed it apart from the grind. Extra highlight, GTA 6 is releasing this year apparently. God, when is that happening again? Because I need to book the day. Like literally, I know that lots of people are booking the day off, but I feel like I might actually book the day off. Like I got to look at my calendar. So someone please drop it down. This is paint. This is paint that's on my hands. So I was painting the walls, yeah. And I tried to get as much of it off as I could, but I was focusing mainly on because I didn't want to touch paint all on the thing. But paint gets everywhere. Like I'm telling you, I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to like, I'm like meticulous. I'm like trying to do everything like perfect, and I think that's why when I'm seeing things in my bathroom that's not perfect, I was trying to say to the person like, without being like I'm the big I am, I was kind of like telling them like, oh, by the way, I'm a designer, so like I can see when things aren't aesthetically pleasing, so I really want it to be good because I want things to be good. Like I can understand, like, obviously everyone wants things to be good, but if you have like, let's say I wrote something, I'm sure someone who's a copywriter would look at my stuff and be like, well, it's not like, obviously I can write English, but they would probably be like, oh, there's things that could be better to make it perfect, because they would want to like, put all the correct punctuation because that's their job, that's what they're good at. So as a designer, like I'm looking at things and I'm like, I want the lines to be straight and I want this like I just know. So when I'm doing these things for myself, like the painting, I'm like really like paying attention to the lines. Like maybe I'm probably making it last longer than it needs to be, but I want to know that I'm doing a good job because I'm passionate about it. But what can you do? Let's just move on and breathe. Oh, the three finger salute. I don't know what that is. I think it's in November. Perfection. Yeah, slightly. Just because I like things to be just so, and it gets me upset when they're not. I can't help it. Release day for GTA 6 is end of November unless it's delayed. So if they're not given like an actual date yet, or it's just a random day in November. November 19th, the PlayStation's birthday. My dad's more a perfectionist than I am. I mean, obviously I'm not a perfectionist in every sense. Like when it comes to cooking, I just whack anything into the oven or the bowl. But when it comes to things that are like design or whatever, or my personal items, then I want it to be, just so. So yeah. Yeah, we're going to move on from that story. What's my highlight? I suppose my highlight of the week was the members hangout. That was good fun, chatting to everyone. New Year's Day was pretty nice, even though only Imogen came in the end, but we had a nice day anyway. And I suppose what's highlight of the year? I First highlight of the year, if I'm gonna be like legit about like a big highlight, was probably seeing my sister on her premiere. Like that was like a mad experience. Like going to LA, like walking the red carpet with her, watching her perform on the big screen. Like that's pretty cool. So that was, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. It wasn't even me, it's her. So it must have been pretty cool for her. But yeah, and then watching the show, that was a big highlight. Like watching Imogen in a TV show, seeing her being, you know, fortunate enough that she wanted me to come as well and do the stuff. Like that's pretty awesome. So that was probably my big highlight of the year. You can't call pouring milk into cereal cooking. Why, yes, I can. I subbed back during the COVID days. Wow. I always thought you lived in the US. Nice to see how far you've come. That you're doing great. Cheers from Tropical Costa Rica. Well, cheers. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I clicked a thing. Indiana Jones PS5 wasn't a highlight for you? No, that might be my low light of the year. Discovering how tedious the collectibles were and how much the game wound down. I think it was the wrong time or whatever. In 30 minutes, Lucy's bathroom will slightly return to the... It's forefront of the mind. I can't help it. When it's done, I want to do a video of the grand reveal when it's finally done. So you can see the... Like, I've been filming each week of its progress, but god damn it, it's taken a while for this big reveal. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was very cool. So that's a cool big highlight for me. Right. Well, I've done a lot of chatting and there's still a lot of chatting to be done. I don't know how I chat so much. I've got so much chat in me. So, highlight of the week, if you are ready to receive highlight of the week. Not much happened today. It's been, or this week to be honest. Like I said, I've just literally been doing life admin. I've been staying indoors, just trying to get things done. I've just been hanging out with my family quite a lot to be honest, because there's not really a lot going on. So yeah, something simple for clip of the week today. This week on a TV quiz show, one of the questions was about the series that Imogen starred in. No way, Fabio, if you can find what that was, that is awesome. What did I call it? What did I say in Clip of the Week? But yeah, if you can find it, that'd be amazing. Yeah, bathroom. Oh yeah, bathroom. Sorry, bathroom is definitely low light of the year. You're right. That was a big low light. So okay, let's go to clip of the week. Clip of the week. All right. Or what's the other one? Clip of the week. Clip of the week. Clip of the week. I like that one. I like the blankety blank theme. All right, here we go. Enjoy. How many shavings go in it? Mixture? Oh yeah, please. Yeah. Might have to hold that. Enjoy. Thank you so much.
Have a lovely evening, guys.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Would you like to order?
Here it is. Look at the shape. Oh, they're already going. It's like the Titanic. Oh, that's good. That'll warm me up. Just like that, the shavings have already disappeared. My God. That was my very, very decadent hot chocolate from a place called Dark Sugars. I'm still drinking it over there because it's literally just like drinking watered down shavings. Did you see how many chocolate shavings I put in it? My big regret is I didn't pick one out and eat them before it melted. Like, oh my God. They melted so quickly. But it was very rich. So rich, as my grandma would say. So rich, Lucy. But it was good. And yeah, it still tastes good even though it's cold now, because now it's more just like a little syrupy chocolate goodness. So yeah, that was what I got my Baileys in earlier. So that's all I've got for you this week. I'm not really sure what's happening next week either, to be quite honest, because I'm stuck here again waiting. Actually, next week, hopefully, clip of the week will be my bathroom finished. Please, God, let me shower. Because I also want to get to the fun part of the bathroom. I'm sorry, it's not even been 30 minutes and I'm already talking about the bathroom again. But I want to get to the fun bit where I buy like all of the nice like little bits and bobs to make it look nice. I'm going to build the little Lego thing and put them up there. Get a new bath rug. Just make it nice. Please, God. Right. Just gonna stop now. The word bathroom is banned. Every time I say bathroom, I'm gonna have to do a fourth here, okay? So it's like a swear word. Bathroom is a swear word now. What's my favourite food? Pepperoni pizza. Absolutely. Right, so we've got a lot of things to talk about. I'm going to start with gaming first and foremost, which I started up 3 new games. So it's been the Christmas break. It's a wonderful this is the most amount of times I've heard the word blank in the hour. It's my trigger word. Next week's tip of the week, a comparison of Lucy's bathroom and the Reed family bathroom. You don't want to see the Reed family bathroom. I'm not joking, guys. If you think my bathroom looks bad, I don't know what happened in their bathroom, but this is just a different. This is a different thing. We're just talking about this one last time, and then we're done, right? It's so hard to explain what they did to their bathroom, but let the woman talk about her bathroom. It's so boring, I don't. But they had some weird thing happen where they got like a splashback wall, but they didn't get enough. So it was like a weird thing. Like it's a bit of a bodge job, but don't tell them I said that. Okay, so that's it now. No more bathroom talk, which sounds something like completely different. We're done. We're done. All right. The answer to that is 2. The answer to that is no. Every time you ask me a question about the thing, I'm gonna have to play the yes/no game where you can't say yes or no. Anyway, enough. It's 10 to 9. And we've talked about nonsense. I mean, this is clearly why you've come here, right? To talk nonsense. No, we're going to talk about some video games, okay? Please, please, please. So, it's Christmas. And whilst I have been doing certain activities that I would rather have not have been doing, which is taking up a lot of my time. What's said, I'm locking it down, Lucy stays knocking it down. Exactly. I did really, really want to start some new games because I finished Ghost of Yotei. I finished Dispatch because I wanted to finish the year. See you later, Chris J. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate it. Bye. And sleep well. Yeah, so I did want to finish this game. And then once I finished those games, I was like, oh, God, I have nothing. I've got nothing left. And I hate being in a state of, like, not having something to play. So I was like, I've just got to bulldoze through and start some new games just so I have things going on. Oh, right. Sorry, the question wasn't about Imogen, but it was about actress Ellen Pompeo asking which series did the actress star. Oh, Good American Family. Nice. Well, thank you. Yeah, so I had to just like start some new games and just go for it because I don't know why I get this like paralysis about starting a new game. I just hate it. I want to be in the weeds. I want the comfort and the safety of knowing what I'm going to click on. So first game I started was Power Wash Simulator 2. Now maybe this was a bad move and I am going to have to mention the unspeakable word. Everything revolves around this. So I did the painting. It took ages. Well, it didn't really take ages, but it just took a while because it was, tough. So I did the painting and I wanted to relax before I went back to check if I could do like, anything else. Because I wanted to just check that it was drying, the redacted word. And I was like, you know what? I just need to play something quick. Let's just start off Power Washing Simulator 2. I just jumped to 2. And I started doing it. And I was like, this is basically the reverse activity of what I've just been doing. Why am I doing this? I literally spent the past 3 hours doing this. And now I've gone to a video game where instead of adding the thing to the wall, I'm taking the thing off the wall. And it was like some kind of madness. And as soon as I booted up the game, I washed, so the first thing is a truck. And I started washing it. And I was like, what the fuck? This is gonna take ages. Why the fuck am I doing this? This is boring. Why have I done this? And now I've done it. And literally, the other funny thing that happened as well is I started up the game, and what I liked about it was, we're in like your house or whatever, the power wash simulating station, and there was these 3 little cats. This is before I'd done any washing. So I was like, oh, that's cute. You can pet the cat. Pet cat 1. Oh, there's another cat. Pet cat 2. Oh, look, there's a 3rd cat. Pet cat. Trophy. I was like, well done. Now I'm locked in. Before I even washed anything, before I realised how painfully boring. I think the game's not boring, really. I think I was just already washed out. I don't know what... I was already done with doing an activity like this to go and do another activity. I don't know what madness spurred me on. I just wanted a chill game. Everyone was talking about Power Wash, and I was like, I guess we'll just do it. And then I realised, oh my God. And then the second level. So I watched this truck. You know what I hated as well? It's almost like Power Wash Simulator was doing almost like the reverse Dark Souls to me. So you own Dark Souls, you go through the fog wall, and the boss is there, and you're you fight the boss and you're like, yes, and it's got one bit of health and you hit it and you're like, yes. And this is very Dark Souls 3. You get the boss down, you kill it, and it goes blah, 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 and a new bit of boss comes out and a new health bar comes up. They Dark Souls 3 bossed me on this. I clean the truck. What happens? The back of the truck comes down. I got to clean the inside of the truck. And I'm like, are you kidding me? They did it in the second level as well. Like, I was like, oh, it's a small bit. I'll do that. They three time bossed me on that one. I was like, you guys are messing with me. Anyway, I think it is going to be, yeah, the washing had a second phase. That's the word I'm looking for. There was a second phase to the washing. And I was like, you can't. That's not there. I was feeling finished. Anyway, I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I think I just picked the wrong game for the wrong time. Like, why I went from one manual labor task to another digital manual labor task, God only knows. But that's where I was led. I thought I wanted chill, and I did want chill. So I'll see. I think it's going to serve me well. I think, obviously I'm bitching about it now, but I think it's because I was literally just painting all day. I think it will be a good game for, as people say, you stick on a podcast. I'm in no rush to finish it. I think I do need a very chill game for when I just want to like relax or whatever. Like, I'm not going to rush to finish it. It will just be there for, what I also like about it is you can just pick up and play. You can just like, you know what, I've got 20 minutes. I'm going to do a little bit. I'm just going to watch this one little bit and then I'm done. I'm going to go out or whatever. So that's quite nice about it. So I know whilst I am sort of taking a dig at it, I think it's fine. I do like the quality of life things. I heard the first one was a bit frustrating, and that's why I wanted to jump into 2, even though I haven't done 1, because I heard all this stuff. I literally can't believe that. I literally started watching and I was like, this is really tedious. Why have I done this? So we'll see how it gets on. Fucking hell, they've added bosses to Power Simulator. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, it was. I actually had to wash. That was the other thing. I had to wash a public toilet, which could also be called a redacted word. And I was like, are you kidding me? Now I have to wash one. Thank you, sure. This is why you have an alternate account, I guess. Yeah, it's a lot. I was just not feeling zen. So, but yeah, I think it'll be fine. I did introduce Imogen to Power Wash Simulator, and she actually got into it. She was like washing away, and I was like, it's time to leave, Imogen. We have to go out. So, oh yeah. Shh. And she was doing it very methodically. I was quite interested watching her process as she slowly went round the rims of the campfire. And I was like, wow, such technique, such skill. I also don't really know much about the nozzles and all that stuff. I just watch the thing and just hope for the best. But yeah, the boss fights are nice. So that was game number 1 that I started. We'll see. That one will last me a while through the year. Game number 2 was a game that I did really want to play. But I was waiting to play in co-op with the mysterious co-op partner. So we finally got on to Little Nightmares 3, which came out about October or November this year. I heard mixed reviews on it. I heard that people said it wasn't as good as the other ones, but I was still intrigued by the fact it was co-op. So the first one, you play as one character. The second one, you still play as one character, but you do have a second character there. And this time it was the first one where you could play as 2 characters, as 2 people. So what are my initial thoughts on it so far? I can see what people mean, why they don't like it as much. There are some nice things to it. So the whole intrigue about Little Nightmares, if you don't know, it's like this kind of creepy world. I think that's what the main thing about it is. And it also has that kind of like lore thing that's not really told to you in the game 100%, but you can go back and like look it up, like, Prepare to Cry style. They're like, oh, and then 6 did this and this backstory or whatever. So that's what I think is really cool about it. And there's always something interesting at the end that happens. There's like a very subtle story going on. I'm only am I 2 levels in? I think or am I 3 levels in? Maybe only 2 levels in so far. And I'm not really getting a massive sense of story. You have these 2 characters, which I do think are quite interesting. And they both got their own sort of abilities. So you've got, I think they're called Alone and Low. I don't really know if I've got the names right, but one of them has a bow and arrow and one of them has a spanner, aka a wrench for our American friends. And I think that's kind of cool. The first 2 games you didn't really have like anything like that. You just had your torch that you would have now and again. So there is like areas where you have to like, oh, is this a bow and arrow area, or is this a spanner wrench area? And you can like break through walls with the spanner if you need to get somewhere else, or, you know, wrench things. Or you can, like, you know, shoot bits of rope or buttons with the thing. So that's kind of cool. And I am intrigued about how some of the aspects of the game actually work in single player, because playing it in co-op, I don't understand how the AI would do things. Like, do you have to switch between the two? Because some of the things, like, you do something so the other character could do something, and then they do something to help you along. I mean, it's kind of like It Takes Two and Split Fiction, but less extravagant. But a lot of the time you are just traveling together and you're going from bit to bit. But it does sort of lack a bit of, I don't know, soul, I guess. Like, I don't really feel like this connection between the characters. I don't really know why we're here. They don't really interact with each other that much. So we'll see. What did I say? So the first two are done by Tarza Studios. The third one's done Supermassive Games. Oh, so is that why? The third one's done by a different developer. Interesting. Little Nightmares 3 is from different people. The original ones are doing a similar game called Reanimal for another studio. Yeah, I'm really interested in Reanimal, and I've marked that down. I've told the mysterious car partner we shall be playing that, so hopefully they will oblige, because that did look, I watched the trailer again recently. I was like, that did look cool. But, you know, the spirit is there, but it's just not got that same charm, I suppose. But I do think it's still a great co-op game. I can see why, if you're playing it as a single player game, it might feel a bit boring, but there is a lot of, like, talking to your co-op partners, like, oh, like, what? See, I don't like puzzle games, but I actually don't mind puzzle games when I'm doing it with someone else, because then you can bounce off each other, and then I'm not, like, so frustrated. So it's like, oh, what do you think we should do? Oh, and that's one thing that I do think is kind of annoying. There is a lot more trial and error in this game than in previous games. Like, there was always moments of that in the previous ones, but this time, I do feel like a lot of times you go into a room and you, like, get killed immediately. You're like, oh, damn. So you go in the room again, you try something different, get killed again. So you have to keep trying things and dying until you work out what the real thing is. I feel like in the previous games, like, it didn't happen as often. Like, maybe it was more obvious what you were supposed to do, or I'm not sure. There's one bit in particular where we went into a room and something was chasing us. And as we got in the room, like, the thing caught up to us almost immediately. And it was very difficult to work out what we were supposed to do, because we'd never been in the room before. So you're, like, in this room for, like, literally a second, 2 seconds, looking around like, okay, is there something to shoot? Is there something to rent? Oh, we're dead. Okay, we have to do it again. And it's like something so obvious when you know what to do. But when you don't know what to do, it's like, so that can be quite annoying. Do characters carry the weapons properly? In the previous game, I remember dragging implements like hammers because the character didn't have the strength. So these characters have, like, the weapons attached to them. So it's like you press circle and you get out your bow and arrow, or you get out your spanner, and then you use R2 and then you just put it away. You still carry certain items. Oh, see you later, Wes. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that they actually wield those correctly. You do still pick up certain things and have to, like, carry them, like, you know, batteries and stuff like that. That's the gameplay is pretty similar in terms of, like, the buttons and the same activities that you're going to be doing, like turning something loud on so you can sneak by, stuff like that. So yeah, the trial and error stuff is a bit annoying. And there was something else that I thought could be better, but I want to see how it goes. I'm hoping there'll be something interesting in the end. For those that don't really know the series, like, they do kind of link with each other, and I'm curious to see if this one does link to the other two. I don't know yet. Yeah, there's some, like, cool tie-ins. Like, I played the first one, I played the second one, and then I played the DLC of the first one for Halloween, and that was cool to see how this lore does all come together when you, like, go, oh my god, this is what happened, and these characters. I still want to really understand the world, but it's kind of cool. That sometimes you also get, in each level, you'll get a sort of ability. Like, the first level we had an umbrella. I think the second level we had the torch, but they seem to go between levels. So we'll see how that pans out. Either way, I'm enjoying it as a co-op experience, but I'm not sure as a story experience how good it is. But yeah, I liked the TV and the remote in the second one. Yeah, I liked all that TV stuff. Like that. I don't think it's as creepy as the first two games. I also like the music of the first game and the second, that and Six's hunger, and yeah, Mono's addiction to the TV. Like, there was a lot more of those moments where you had, like, a little character moment and you're like, oh, something's happening. Like, what does this mean? What's going on? I don't really feel like we're getting those character moments. Like, now and again our characters might like look at each other and hold hands. It definitely feels like one character likes the other one maybe a bit more, but I don't know if I'm just making this up just because that's what I'm getting from it as a read. But I don't really know why these two know each other. Like I feel like in the first games, well, especially the second one, you like meet this character, you don't really know what their intentions are, but you sort of build a friendship through what happens. Here we're just like pals from the offset, even though we didn't know each other before, so that feels kind of weird. But curious to see how it all pans out. I'll keep you up to date with the progress, but yeah, that shouldn't be too difficult to platinum. It's a 2 playthrough. You play once as one character, then you swap and play as the other character. There's a few collectibles. We seem to be quite good at getting the collectibles so far, touch wood, so that's going to be a nice one to get through. And then yes, definitely Reanimal. I want to play Reanimal really badly. That does look really cool. It'll be really interesting playing this game. Reanimal comes out in February, and seeing how the two, like, now that I know that it's a different developer, which I didn't know before, like, seeing the style of that one versus this one and be like, I see the craft. So, yeah, do we have any other people who are Little Nightmares fans in the chat, or am I just talking gibberish? I mean, if you haven't played it, I definitely recommend 1 and 2. 2, I think, is more polished. 1, I think... 1 has some kind of like... The gameplay's a bit... not as tight, like some of the platforming. So it's very much platform puzzle kind of thing. But I also like the story of 1 better. Like, like the story of 6. But the story of Mono is pretty cool. But I think that the second game is the better game just because it just tightens up some of the mechanics a bit. So there's less like... I felt like I fell to my death a lot, or failed a lot in the first game. And I didn't always feel like it was my fault. But, you know, they cogged it up. 2 is one of my favourite PS4 games ever, says Skip to the End. Yes, but some very cool bits. I'm not going to say the spoiler, but the end of 2, oh my god. I don't really like react out loud a lot when I play games with myself, but I was literally like, it was one of those moments I was like, oh my god, like that's how invested I was. I was like, no, this is insane. Like, that was so cool. Yes, Emma saying the ending of 2. Man, that got me. Like, literally, as soon as I finished the game, I was like on the internet looking at... I wanted to read what people's thoughts were. I'm not sure if those people have the same reaction to 3. I've got no idea. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But yeah, Reanimal will be cool to look out for as well. I don't know, I feel so out of breath today. I've done a lot of talking today. Mainly because I did that video before and I was walking around. I've obviously drank flipping... I've drunk chocolate, like literal chocolate. I didn't like the first one, but I really enjoyed the second one, except the hospital. Yeah, the hospital was bad. There was like a bit we had to do the flashlight, and it was like with all those things, that was really annoying. But yeah, they're nice games. I enjoy them. Okay, and that was the second game I started. The third game that I started. So whilst I was painting, I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to RKG. Every Christmas they do 100 questions. And they do a lot of Let's Plays, mainly of Souls games and Resident Evil games. So they got a lot of questions about Souls games. And they talk about Sekiro a lot in the thing. And I almost decided to play Sekiro. But then I remembered my list of games that I had put down that I wanted to play. And so I ended up playing Lies of P. So let's talk about it. Being let down by someone you trust is a genuine nightmare for a lot of people, which is why it resonates so much. Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about Little Nightmares lore. But yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, let's talk about Lies of P, because there's something comforting I find about Souls games. I know that sounds crazy because Souls games, they're hard, you're going to die. And yes, but I think when I turned on Power Wash Simulator, I wanted a chill game to relax to. But that was I think that wasn't quite the game I needed for that moment. Like, it was relaxing, but I was still like needed something for my brain. And I find that Souls games have this nice balance of like relaxation, but also I've like got a nice internal monologue going. Also, I found out that some people don't have internal monologues. What do those people think like? Do they think like babies and dogs? Like, how do you not speak to yourself? So when I play a Souls game, I enjoy sitting, playing the game. It's normally quite quiet, a Souls game. There's no music really apart from a boss fight. You're just exploring. And I do like that. It feels like it takes my mind off of things because I'm not bored, even though I also want to like, sometimes I guess I don't want to be bombarded with sounds. Like, it's like, I don't want to, I don't want to listen because I think I just want to have reflection, like personal reflection. So sometimes, you know, you're wandering around the streets, I'm killing things, thinking about where I want to go, making a strategy, but I'm also just having my own thoughts as well, like thinking like, I guess just processing. You know, at the end of the day, when you just want to have like a process, I find them oddly relaxing and calming. Like there's like a routine to them of like, we're going to explore. Like obviously when you get to the boss fight, that's when you got to like pull your sleeves up and have a go. But I quite like it. So Liza P. No, God of War Ragnarok. See, God of War Ragnarok is too much. Like I feel like for that I need to be more engaged. I need to be like listening to the story. I need to be, you know, constantly on. Whereas I feel like my mind can wander. I think that's what I like about Souls game. My mind can wander. I don't have to be 100% there to play the game because you kind of just play a bit on autopilot. But then you also it can also like make you like your focus as well. I just quite like that no one speaks to you in a Souls game, really, unless you click on people to talk to. And obviously, there is some talking bit, but it's not like, oh, I have to sit here and pay attention to this cutscene now and not look at my phone. But I don't think I look at my phone when I'm playing like a Souls game because I'm just enjoying my own whatever. Liza P had a Bloodborne vibe, plus I preferred it being more linear. Yes, we'll get to that in a sec. So it's not sensory overload like some games could be. Yeah, I think maybe that's it. Like sometimes I want to play something a bit more like interactive or a bit more stimulating, but I don't want to be overstimulated. Like I'm not awake enough to play God of War Ragnarok, but I do feel awake enough to just explore a world and maybe kill a boss or whatever. No, I have still not played Ragnarok. I'm going to get to it in the summer, I think. So let's go over here and hopefully I've set it up. Oh, here we go. Let me do this so that we're not getting feedback. If I want to hear feedback, I'll let you know. And I will do this. So I've got some gameplay here of Liza P. So the combat is and general setup is actually very like Bloodborne. In fact, I was so surprised. I didn't really know much about Liza P. I hadn't really looked at a lot of gameplay. I hadn't really looked at anything. I am wearing a Christmas hat. I just felt like wearing a Christmas hat to be Christmassy in the game, you know. But why not? So the first thing that struck me was how similar to Bloodborne it was. Almost the sense that I was like, oh my god, how have they not been copyright struck for this? Like, a lot of the design elements and the UI are very similar to Bloodborne. So I was quite taken aback by that. It's got also a gothic kind of vibe. But it's also different because of this puppet vibe that it's got going on, which is really interesting. Like, I'm really digging the world and the lore of, like, this... Like, it's such a weird, bizarre game. Like, like, how do people think about this? I don't understand. Like, if you like Bloodborne... This is the next best thing to Bloodborne. Like, oh no, that's a lot, but it's still not got that FromSoft like tightness. Like, it felt a little loose, and it took a while to get used to because it was a little like, but now I kind of in the flow of it. But I'm like, this is a very good game, everyone. Like, this is like top notch. Like, the puppet thing is super. Like, I just can't. Like, another thing I love about these games, I love the creativity. I love the world, so I feel engrossed in it. And like when I started playing it, I was like. Someone was like so inspired by Bloodborne and the fact that they could do, I guess the rights of Pinocchio were gone, that they were able to make this Bloodborne Pinocchio fusion. And it's so bizarre. Like, I used to watch Pinocchio so much as a kid. Like, I was one of the tapes that I had on VHS that I watched over and over again. And I used to be really freaked out by the whale scene. I used to be really freaked out by the boys turning into donkeys. Like, that used to scare the shit out of me. So yeah, playing this, I've got a lot of touch points to Pinocchio. I'm like, oh my god, this it like also has a deeper like thing. I'm like, oh, I know that thing. So yeah, playing it starts off and you've got that, you know, the usual kind of like corridor where it's telling you how to play the game, and then you have to pick which class you want to be. So I went for balance. I did start off with dexterity, but I didn't like the rapier. I'm not really a pointy sword person, so I went for balance so I like a swishy sword. I always play these games the same pretty much. And then after that, you are introduced to this world where puppets had this kind of like frenzy and have taken over. So a lot of time you're fighting machines, which is like really interesting, but it's still kind of gothic and creepy, like the world. And so a lot of the mechanics are similar to Bloodborne, but also slightly tweaked. Like, you know, you've got status effects, but because you're a puppet, your status effects are like overheating or being shocked, which I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like they've done like things that make sense but are still Bloodborne-y. There's also a lot of cool like quality of life stuff that they've done in this game, which I wonder if they did do in a Souls game, people would like hate it because they might be like purists or whatever. So one of the things I really like about this game is, which I'm going to go through the quality of life things, and I think some of them would work in a Souls game, and I think some of them people might not want because it's maybe a little too hand-holdy. Like, I'm not going to say this game is easy, but it definitely feels easier than a Souls game. And also you can like swap the difficulty and stuff, but I just went on the default difficulty, which was the one that the game shipped with. They patched it to have 2 lower difficulties. So yeah, one of the things I think is really cool is when you level up, it basically works exactly the same way, by the way, as Bloodborne. You have souls that you can drop. They're called ergo. You can pick those up. That's how you level up. You level up at these stargates, which are basically the bonfires. You have health that you can take, but if you get hit while blocking, you can get your health back in a small window. Your arm isn't really like a parry. It's just more like a multi-tool, so it's not quite the same there. And it also has quite a lot of the same sort of like, you know, you have your weapon slots, you have equipment that you're picking up and all this kind of stuff. So first quality of life thing that I like is when you are leveling up, you can, you know, use your ergo or your souls, whatever, to level up. But then when you run out of souls, you can actually pop, like, so in the game, in like Souls game, you pick up souls and you can like crush them to get more souls. In this game, on the level up menu, it actually lets you pop those souls in the level up menu, so you can see how much you need to be able to reach your goal. And I'm like, that's really cool, because then you don't have to go out of the menu, try and do the count, you can just see it. So that's a cool quality of life thing for a start. First, I didn't really understand what that meant, but then I kind of figured it out. Second one, which I thought was cool, was when you drop your souls, I noticed in a boss fight, when you drop them, you don't actually have to go back into the boss fight to pick them up. They leave your souls outside the boss door. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, because that was one of the things, like, you're playing a Souls game, you reach a boss, and you're like, oh, now I'm committing. I've got 500 souls on me. If I go in here and I lose the boss, I have to be prepared to lose those souls. I mean, I know 500 is like a small amount, but sometimes you have more. In this game, you can like go into the boss fight and you can be prepared to lose them and just go to the door, pick them up, and then come back again. Pretty nice. I'm not sure if Souls fans will like that, because there is that kind of heightened sense of jeopardy, or, you know, oh my god, I've got to get back in, I've got to pick up my souls. Like, it's like a real, like, whereas here they're just like, it's okay. That's number 2 that I like. Number 3, they give you kind of like, there's more talking in this game than in a Souls game. So you have Gemini, which is Jiminy, but Gemini, he's a little cricket who is this kind of in the lamp on the back of you here. And he kind of like will say things out loud to like prompt you on what you should do, or give you a little bit of world building stuff. So that's kind of nice. He, like, one time I was doing something, I was like, I think we should head back to the hotel, kind of telling you like, hey, there's something to do. And the hotel is like your nexus, your Firelink shrine, your camp sort of safe area. So he will like say sort of things and help prompt you in the right direction, because, you know, in Souls games, especially like, you know, Elden Ring or whatever, you've got all these NPC quests and you've got no idea what's going on. You just hope you bump into them, or you have to read a guide. But here, you don't have to do that. It's kind of telling you what to do. Also, to that effect, if you do like speak to an NPC and you pick up an item, or if there's anyone to speak to, when you go to the map, it will put like a little like, it will have a little glow to let you know that there's something there. And then when you go to the area of the map, it will also put a glow on the place of the map. Well, I'm not saying the map, but the map's the wrong word. It tells you like the different like bonfires. So it will have like a little marker of the item next to the bonfire to let you know, like, hey, in this area is where this character, this item, there's a story thing. So I'm like, oh, cool. Like, because I picked up something, I didn't really know what it was, because I'm terrible at reading. I went and sat down. I'm just going to say Souls words, just because everyone knows bonfire, everyone knows Souls. Saying Ergo and Stargazer is just like a lot. So when, yeah, you sit at the bonfire, like sometimes you pick up an item, and I don't remember who wanted what from me or whatever, so it's nice to go to that, but, oh, that thing I picked up, there's something there. What was that again? Also, the same thing with Bloodborne, which is kind of interesting, is that people will talk to you through windows and doors. Also, there's like a virus, like an infection, the same as Bloodborne. So some of it's a bit sketchy. Like, some of it is like almost too similar to Bloodborne. Like, in the first, like, oh god, I've got
The hunt is black. Ah.
But in this one, they've got some other, like, I can't remember what it's called, petrification disease or something. But you know what? It's whatever. So yeah, I think that's really cool. I think that's all the quality of life things. Oh, yeah, and if anyone wants to speak to you at the hub area, their face will come up as well when you sit at the bonfire. It will come up by the hotel spawn point. So, oh, okay, I'm going to speak to someone there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff like that, which is interesting. Also with the health thing, you take these health files, and then when you get to 0 health files, you have to fight people, and you can like bring the meter up, and so you can like gain back a health. That's kind of fun. It adds a little bit of like risk and reward. So you're like, okay, I can use my health, but I need to plan accordingly. Like if I do use all my health, there is a chance that I can fight. And it makes you play a little bit more aggressively, especially in a boss fight. If you use all your health, you can be like, right, if I get in there and just get a few more hits in, I can build my thing back up. So I really like that. I think that's a cool mechanic. The other thing that's kind of cool is your left arm can have different like attachments or abilities. So right now I've got a flame one on, but you can also have a shock one. So I quite like picking different ones of that for different areas. Like I use the flame one for when I'm exploring for like crowd control, and then I use the electric one if I'm like fighting a boss, because mostly most of the puppets are weak to electricity. I think this is a really good Souls-like game, to be honest. I'm very much enjoying my time with it. Oh yeah, there's also like abilities. Sorry, I mentioned these fable bits. I don't even know a lot of the lore stuff and how it works, to be quite honest, because like I said, I never read anything. I just kind of hope for the best and sort of work things out as I go along. But yeah, you have these like weapon abilities as well. Oh, and you can like build, sort of craft your weapon a bit more. So it's the same as Bloodborne almost, where you have your main weapon, and then you have like an additional bit of your weapon, but you kind of have to build up these like fable slots, which is the blue bar, which I haven't got filled up right now on the screen. But once you build that up, then you can use one of your special fable attacks or whatever. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Like I find the world super interesting. It did take me a little while to get used to the combat, because it did feel a little bit like slippy is the only way. Like you're like, but now I'm into it. I'm kind of like vibing with it. Like I've come in sync with it. Oh, also another thing that's really cool is like when you're like fighting people, you can stagger them. And then when you stagger them, you have to do like a big move to like, well, you don't stagger them. You can get them into a almost staggered state. And that's when you've got to hit a certain big move. But again, it's not guaranteed. You've got to hold down R2. So you can't just go, oh, they're in a staggered state. Quick, press the button. You've still got to at least time it to make sure you can hold the button to get that. Then when you've done that, then they stagger. And then you can hit them with a big move, which is cool. This is a good question. Is the Bloodborne similarities too distracting? At first, I did find it a little bit, like, much. Like, I was like, wow, like, when you see all of these things, you're like, this is exactly like this. It does seem a bit strange. But after a while, it just kind of fades into the background. You just get used to the mechanics of the game and just get on with it. And it kind of feels like, oh, I know how to play this kind of thing. But then there's also, like, new things. So at first, I did, yes, I would say to that question. It was like, oh, it feels like a bit of a rip-off. But now that I've played more of it, I actually think it feels more like a crossover between Bloodborne and Resident Evil 4. Like, especially this area that we're looking at here. This feels very Resident Evil 4. And the reason I say that is because there is still more talking in it compared to Bloodborne. You've got this other character that speaks. I think the map is more linear, and you're kind of like filtered through it. And I don't know. It just feels a bit less. It doesn't feel as hard as a Souls game. I definitely think that, I'm not saying that I'm the best or anything, but I think if you play a Souls game, you can quite easily slip into how this works and figure it out and then just get into your routine. So I'm really enjoying it, and definitely looking forward to playing more, and hopefully, and I'm interested to see how hard it gets. Like, so far the bosses haven't really caused me that much trouble, but obviously I'm just at the beginning of the game, so we'll see how hard it gets. But oh yeah, someone was saying something about the Pinocchio. Who was this that said this? Crazy how the loss of an IP was the reason for this game existing. Wonder what the devs would have done without the Pinocchio source material. Yeah, like, because now it's public domain. Like, it's so interesting, because obviously, like, we're at this age where things are now free public domain, which is crazy. Like, that's how long things have existed for, that we know. Like, this, it is actually really interesting. Like, if you are a fan of Pinocchio or know the story, that's one of the reasons that I also want to keep playing, because I just want to know like what other things are gonna, because Geppetto is in the game. Like it's actually mad how creative that they got to like take that world and merge it into this. He does look like Timothy Chalamet. I actually agree with you. And make this whole story based on IP. Like it's pretty interesting. But yeah, I like how that you're fighting puppets. Like that's such an interesting theme that I've not really done before. I mean, puppets, robots, I guess kind of the same thing, maybe technically, but just it being the word puppets just makes it feel different and kind of scary. Like they people have built them and now they've doing their own thing and they've come alive and have their own, but you're obviously special because you're Pinocchio. And obviously, oh yeah, and there is like a lying thing which I haven't really done too much, but people will ask you questions and you have to decide whether you want to lie or tell the truth. Now I don't really know what the consequences are of this. So far I've just been lying, because I did look at the guide quickly. They did say you should either pick lying or telling the truth. So right now I'm lying and I'm seeing, and it says like, oh, your cogs have turned based on the lie or whatever. So I'm kind of interested how those things turn out, and where the story's going to go. So I think it's cool and definitely worth a play if you're a Souls player. And like I said, maybe slightly easier than a Souls game. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, when they do this red thing, you have to make sure that you don't get hit by that. There is certain things that once you learn it, you just got to like, you know, back off, make sure like doing all the dodging and stuff. Like the dodging stuff is pretty much the same as Bloodborne. So yeah, let's read what some of your thoughts are for those of you that have played Lies of P. I'm very happy I picked this up. This is engrossing me, and this is kind of what I wanted. Something a bit more juicy, something a bit more meatier to like sink my teeth into. I didn't want to be totally on the couch zombified for Power Wash Simulator, but I also didn't want to be God of War bombarded action. Okay. Also, one of the NPCs, I listened to them and I was like, oh my god, I know this voice. It was the one and only Peter Davison, the Fifth Doctor. I was like, oh my god, it's the Fifth Doctor. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. Lies of P is such a good game. It hooked me from the moment I tried the demo. So I never even played the demo. Not even played the demo. Need to get back to Lies of P. Never finished it. I hope I'll finish it. Just did the Overtorture DLC recently. It reminded me of what an awesome game it was. Tip. The puppet string, even though first one you get is very good, especially once upgraded. Yeah, I tried the puppet string, but maybe I should go back to it. Because yeah, the puppet string like pulls them in, which I thought was pretty fun. Also, Lies of P has prettier people than any Souls game, so there's that. Yeah, there are. Also, there's like a cool thing of like people going around wearing like masks. Like it's just got a cool aesthetic. And it has that same sort of like, you know, you're going around, you're opening shortcuts to get back to things. I think they're also quite generous with the amount of bonfires they give you. It doesn't feel like it's too far to the next one, and there's quite a lot of ways back to things. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm still traumatized by that donkey scene. That donkey scene is terrifying. Would someone who bounced off Bloodborne because they couldn't get out of the first area vibe with this, or should they avoid? I think you could vibe with this. Like, I don't think it's just, I feel like the Souls games like to try now because they've got this like, you know, oh, it's hard. So they like to put you in a thing straight away, but they didn't actually give me like a boss fight. Like I was expecting the old Souls thing, like, okay, you come out of the little tutorial bit, you're going to have to fight a boss and it's going to be like, oh, you see, it's hard, so you're going to have to learn. But actually they had quite a nice little area first where you could go around and like get used to like the gameplay. So I sort of went around and did that and like got a sense of myself. And it wasn't for a little while that I fought a boss. And the first boss, he wasn't like he didn't feel like a big bad. It was quite nice. It was quite gentle. Like he had very obvious like, you know, hit areas. And then there was another boss. The second boss was also kind of simple and wasn't too crazy. Like I know it sounds like, oh my god, I'm just so great, but I'm telling you, like it doesn't like the first boss of Bloodborne is the cleric beast, and the cleric beast will fuck you up. Like obviously if you play the game a lot, you know the cleric beast is not obviously the hardest boss, but he's still a challenge and he's gonna like get you. And then it's, you know, Father Gascoigne, whereas here I feel like the game's gentle with you. And also there is a difficulty as well, Dusty, like, and there's no trophies for whatever difficulty you play. So the original difficulty is called Legendary Stalker, and that's like the normal, what the game was intended to be. And then with the DLC, they added 2 lower difficulties. So if you do just want to enjoy the story and play the game, just do it. Just put the difficulty down. Who cares? Live your life. There's no need to be stressed. Like, I think they've done it for a reason. Obviously, it's controversial having difficulty in a Souls game or whatever, but I think it's nice. So to make sure that everyone can play the game. Lies of P was a good Christmas platinum for me, says Glenn Miller. Oh yeah, I'm excited that I'm playing it. Who's P? Is that the player character? I think, yeah, P is Pinocchio. I think you are Pinocchio, but they never really say the word Pinocchio outright. The first boss in Lies of P was harder in the demo. I think they balanced it out a bit. Oh, that's a good bit of lore. There is a lot of things going on, like in terms of, they give you a lot of mechanics. Like I just got this wishing star thing and I've got no idea. I was like, I can't read this right now, but I'm sure later on I'll figure it out and I'll start using that and realize, like, oh, why have I not used it? But yeah, I think it's cool. And I so far like the NPCs as well. They're pretty good. Lowest difficulty is very, very easy. The default hardest one isn't that hard either, to be honest. Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm glad I've got something else going on. Even though I'm a Souls player, I'm very happy that others have more accessible options. Yeah, because sometimes it's like, I feel like life's too hard, man. So let's let people play the game. Like, who cares? Like, if you really want people to play the game the hardest difficulty, put a trophy for it and then test it. Like, if you're not going to put a trophy for the hardest difficulty, then I'm not going to do it unless I want to do it, because but I'm enjoying playing it. I think the difficulty that we're on right now, the normal one, feels balanced to me as a veteran Souls player, shall we say. But yeah, I think it's nice, especially when, you know, you're locking people out of an interesting story or a world that they could be immersed in. Then I feel like you have to lie throughout the entire game. Would Lies of P on a lower difficulty be a good warm-up to Elden Ring? This game is more, well, I guess Elden Ring you can play whatever way you want, but this is definitely more like attack, offensive heavy. That Bloodborne was like, because a lot of the time in the Souls game, I mean, you can play whatever way, but you're mainly supposed to like tank and then hit or shield. Like, it's more of a defensive game, Souls game. You can play Elden Ring like that, but you can also play Elden Ring offensive. But yeah, in this game, because there is no shield, it wants you to get in there and fight, especially with that mechanic of getting the health back. So if you're comfortable with doing that, it's fine. But yeah, maybe just to see if you like the idea of the game, I do think it's more an easier gateway to a Souls game. I think the difficult options are good. The skill issue people annoy me a little. I also think that the skill things were like the way of the past. Like, obviously, when you grew up playing games, they had to be difficult because you had to get replayability out of them. Like, if you played Sonic in 1998 and you could save, you would beat the game and it would be done. So, and it comes from arcade games. Like, you go to the arcade, they want your money, so it's got to be hard. If you can put your money in and beat the game immediately, why are you going to play it again? They need you to keep putting the money. So I think it's like been a slow, gradual, like, oh, things are getting not easier, but obviously life is hard as well. Like, I can't sit down and play all of Sonic 1 in one sitting because I've got shit to do. As a kid, I had nothing to do other than my homework or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's nice, like, giving people these options. Like, recently, well, I say recently, but they added in Returnal the suspend cycle mode, so that, because people don't have time. Like, you have to, you know, give people freedom. Like, you want people to play the game, bring them in. That's what I say. Bring them in. So yeah, if you're thinking about it, I'm very much enjoying it. So I hope that you are able to enjoy it too. Right, let me take a drink. I spoke a lot. Wait, what? Disney requested for the Lion King game to be hard to avoid losing money from rentals, beating the game easily. Exactly, that game was hard as nails. But we don't need that anymore. We've got so many games to play. And just whack a new game plus. And if your game's good enough, then people will go back to it, like the people who love Dark Souls and they're returning to Lordran coming up soon. So yeah, I'm happy with my games. I feel like I've got a co-op game on the go, I've got a chill game, and I've got a game I'm really enjoying and I'm invested in mentally. So there's another game I want to start. I think 3 is enough for now. Maybe a story game if I want to have a story game, but I mean, we've already got enough to do, to be quite honest. What does suspend cycle do? So in Returnal, it's like a roguelike. So you go through and you're doing a run, and when you die, you are sent back to the beginning and you have to do it again. So when the game first launched, you'd be doing a cycle. It's a bit like a Sonic, to be quite honest. You'd be doing, oh, I've lost focus. You're doing a run, you got past the first biome, you get to the second biome, and all of a sudden you have to go out or whatever. And then you'd have to quit the game and you would lose all your progress. So suspending the cycle means that you can effectively pause it by, you're not saving the game, but you're like putting it in a free state. But then you can also close the game, turn off your PlayStation, go out and do whatever it is you have to do, come back and resume it for where you were. But it's still like a one, like you can just do it with, but you can't, like, if you then go back to the game, it's not like you can go back to when it was suspended. You're still like playing it, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answered your question. But it's letting you it's basically letting you pause the game and turn off your PlayStation without saving in a way. Returnal was another one I've been on the fence about. I want to see how Saros is, because maybe Saros might be a good, like, 'cause obviously first games are normally like, not, I wouldn't say harder, but people play them, they learn stuff about it. So maybe Saros will have some quality of life stuff. So we'll see about that. I messed up in the lying at launch and never wanted to replay it, but now I can relax with the easier difficulty, says my name is NH. Yeah, so that's nice about that. It makes it easier to replay. You want a story game? So there's this game. It's a sequel to a 2018 game about a man and his son. It's really good. Should definitely play. You know what? I'll look into it, Em. I'll see what I think. So that's all the gaming that I've been doing. Oh my god, I spent so long talking about nothing. I haven't talked about anything. How long have I been streaming for? Was it an hour and 20? Oh my god, and I still have 2 more topics to get through. I guess we'll just do one of them. Okay. I think I can put the platinums I want to do in 2026 to next week, because we're only 2 weeks into the year, so we could do that. But I think it is probably best to talk about Stranger Things this week than next week, because you know how life moves on so quickly. Next week Stranger Things would have been a show that old people watched because it came out a week ago. So I don't know how many people have watched the finale. I will put the spoiler hand up, but I just need to talk about it for 10 minutes. I need to get it off my chest. So I'm just going to put the spoiler hand up so I could talk freely. But for those who don't know, just to set the scene, Stranger Things started in 2016. It ended yesterday, 10 years later, in 2025/2026. 70E7. Watched it in theaters. It was amazing. Hopefully the show's next Thursday, as it's my brother's birthday next Friday. We'll see. I'll have to see what my friends are doing. So, this show has been on for 10 years. And whilst it wasn't my favourite show of all time, I didn't even watch it when it first came out. I think I watched it because people at work recommended it, and I was like, I'll give it a go. And then I was hooked on the first series. Like, I thought the first series was like a masterpiece. I watched it, I loved it so much that I watched the first series again. Then when the second series came out, I watched the first series again and then watched the second series. So I was like really into it. So I watched the first series like at least 3 times, and I'm thinking about watching it again because I think the first series was so perfect, and it just, it does bring that nostalgia of some of the things that I watched as a kid. I grew up in the 90s, so I did watch a couple of like 80s things and early 90s things where it's like, E.T. So all that stuff felt like familiar to me. All of the kids and all the sci-fi stuff and the Upside Down and the Demogorgon was like really cool. So that really, really got me. But of course it became super popular and it carried on for 5 more seasons. The second season, I think every season after the first season never reached that peak for me. Like, I didn't dislike them, but they were just fine. I just never felt the same love. So I would never really call Stranger Things my favorite TV show. But I feel like I did really love it after that first season. That first season, if you asked me what my favorite TV shows, I would say Stranger Things. In fact, I think I did a Secret Santa on the Kind of Funny forum back in the day, and you have to write your like favorite things, and I put Stranger Things in that one because it was. But then after that, my interest, it was always there for me, but my interest kind of waned as things, carried on. Maybe not always in the way like I feel like every season got a little bit worse, in my opinion. Like, the second season, fine. I mean, it was pretty cool. I feel like I don't have as fond memories of it because I think I remember not liking it as much as the first season back to back. But I actually think probably it is better than I remember, so I would like to watch that one back. I have a lot of like fond memories of the third season for some reason, even though I feel like it's not as good. But I really like the aesthetic of like the mall, and I like the kids being that sort of middle age where they're now teenagers and they're going out the hanging. I also really loved Max and Elle's friendship in the third one. Like, all of that stuff was pretty cool. I enjoyed Robin and Steve. Like, there was a lot of like fun stuff going on my main thing, I just hate the Russian stuff. I hate all the Russian storyline. So that was when that started to creep in way more, and that was like my least favorite bit. The Mind Flayer, obviously very cool. The fourth season just didn't click with me at all. I just remember feeling like it was a bit of a slog to watch. The fourth season's the one with Eddie. Like, I don't know if I was just out of it because of the gap. Like, for those first like 3 kind of happened somewhat in like a tighter time, and then it felt like a long time from 3 to 4. Like, I watched 3 at my parents' house. By the time 4 came out, I was living here for at least a year. So I remember watching, I even fell asleep in one of the episodes because I really just didn't enjoy the Russia storyline. Like, Hopper and Joyce and Murray were all in Russia, and I would just zone out in all that stuff. Like, I just really didn't care. The Vecna stuff was cool, and Max's storyline was pretty cool. Like, I do remember, like, the highs of 4 were pretty high. Like, the stuff with Max, like, and if I could. Like, I remember being like, and being on the edge of my seat watching that. And the same at the end as well, when, like, Vecna, like, was getting Max and she's rising up one more time, and Lucas is like, no, like, that stuff was really powerful, impactful. But then the bits that weren't as interesting were like, it was just, like, a lot. And then we had this massive gap between 4 and 5. I've talked about Stranger Things a couple of times on the show, and how I wasn't, like, crazy, like, I don't know if I cared. Could I have gone on without watching it? But then at the same time, I was like, I've got to watch it because I wouldn't want to be spoiled. Like, I was telling Imogen this because it's interesting. I was listening to another podcast. I'm always listening to podcasts, and they were saying, like, this show might be some people's first ever experience of a show ending that they followed. And that's pretty true. Like, for me, my first ever experience of that was probably Lost. And I remember I set my alarm that morning because I was like, I have to watch this Lost finale before I go to college because I just don't want to know what happens. Like, I have to watch it for myself. I set my alarm, I woke up in the morning, I watched it, and I went to college. And I was saying to Imogen, because I don't know if she's ever had this, like, such a big thing. Because I'm trying to think of other TV shows that I watched. Like, Doctor Who never ends. So that's always ongoing. But I said to her, I was like, Imogen, you have to wake up and you have to watch it. Like, imagine how disappointed you'd feel if you went on your phone and you saw something. Like, you can never get that back. Like, I know it's crazy, but this is the world we live in, all right? People, obviously, they need to go on the internet. They need to, you know, get clicks. They need to make videos, which is going to make them money. So, of course, if you are someone that reviews TV shows or movies for a living, you need to be on that, and you need to be watching it, and you need to have a review up as soon as possible because you want to make the money. So it makes sense. The people I don't like are the people that make those videos and in the thumbnail they put the spoiler. Like, fair enough, put Stranger Things, whatever. I remember seeing the spoiler for Spider-Man 2, like, literally 2 days after it came out, because the thumbnail was redacted, doing something to redacted character, and there were 2 big characters. I was like, what the hell? Now I have seen that. Like, that's, you can't unsee that shit. So I told Imogen, it's extreme, but you won't regret it, because then you can enjoy it, hopefully, and have that experience and not have it taken away from you by somebody else or just by accident. It's like whenever I would, like, watch the Royal Rumble with my brother, I would be like, I'm not going on the internet, because it's like, it's happened before. I found out who the winner of the Royal Rumble was by mistake. You can't enjoy it then, because you know who's coming out and you know who's winning, or you know who's not winning. So it takes some of the tension out. Anyway, yeah, a thumbnail spoiled Spider-Man 2 for me as well. Exactly. Anyway, season 5 came out. It was split. I don't think it needed to be split, but I understand, whatever. So it split into volume 1, 2, and then the third one happened. I actually liked the 5th season more than the 4th season. I don't think the highs of the 5th season reached the highs of the 4th season. Like, there wasn't and if I only could, even though there was. I don't think there was anything else so, like, I mean, there was one moment I was watching it, and I did say something verbally to the screen, but I can't really remember what that was, that moment now. But yeah, I liked that it started off from the go. Like, there was no, like, mucking about. We're just like, here we are, we're back in Hawkins, here's the situation, it's game time, we're going. And they just sort of, like, go into it, and then it just sort of kind of it happens, you know, the story unfolds, we're on the end game and whatever. So yeah, I don't think it was bad, and I do actually kind of really want to watch the whole thing again now, just to get the complete story, to see how things happen. Like, it was interesting looking at all the people's thoughts about it when it's over, but honestly, I feel pretty satisfied by the ending. Now, I'm going to say something slightly controversial here, and I think this is why I feel like the ending was okay and I was fine with it. I do think that Stranger Things became a children's show, and I know you're going to be like, what the hell, there's people dying, but it is for kids now. Like, I don't think the first season's for kids, but I think it is aimed at young teenage, like the preteens. I think that's the demographic now. They obviously, the merchandise is massive. It's a massive franchise. They're obviously keeping it going. So they need the people that are gonna buy all that shit from Forbidden Planet. It's become massive. They want the people, the shippers, like these are the people, the preteens and the teens. They're the people that get super invested in TV shows. I remember it, and I just don't feel like I can do that anymore because you just grow up and you realize that it's not real. Like, but when I was younger, like, I was so invested in Rose and the Doctor. Like, to my very core, I was so passionate about it. Like, I'd be on forums because it's all I had. Like, I didn't have anything else. But now it's like I can watch something and be like, oh, that was cool, or that was really impactful. Or maybe that wasn't for me. I'm just gonna move on. It's not gonna devastate my day and ruin my life or whatever. Because I've just got other things going on, and whatever. But when you're a kid, I think that's like, the thing. I think it's also a kids just show just because they got to sell toys and shit, to be quite honest. Like, it's so popular, even though it's not for children. It's on Netflix. Children are going to watch it. So I think that kind of sets the tone. It's more like fantasy Marvel than sci-fi, dark, meaningful themes or whatever. So I think if you look at it from that lens, you might enjoy the finale more, because I've seen people pick holes into it and be like, oh, well, how comes everyone has plot armor and how comes this happened? It's like, just watch it and just be like, that's just how things happened, and just, unless you're like really offended by whatever. I think it was a safe finale. Nothing crazy happened, but nothing terrible happened. I think it was fun, and they did like an ending that was open. It's up to interpretation. And I thought that was pretty cool because it gets people talking about the show. Like, I didn't really think about it. I was a bit confused, and then when I thought about it more, I think that's better, because then you can't really hate the ending if the ending is unclear and up for you to decide what you thought happened. So I thought that was clever, to be honest. Shipper XP. Oh god, I ship bang, and I'm on the Reddit. There are people shipping all kinds of things, like, obviously, and that's the thing again. It's the like, not to diss anybody, because I get it. I was a teenager. I understand, like, these things are important to you, and it's, I guess, being a teenager at that time where you like form your identity, so you really cling on to like characters in a TV show that you feel that you relate to, or you feel super invested, like this is like what you and your friends really enjoy and what you watch. I don't really talk to people. I talk to you guys about the things that I enjoy. It's not the same as like when you go to school and you're like, oh my god, like me and my friend Claire, we were obsessed with Lost. Like, that was the other thing we were obsessed with. Like, we every week after an episode, we'd be writing quotes to each other. We'd be like, talking about how much we like this. Me and my other friends, it'd be like, who do you fancy? Do you fancy Charlie? Do you fancy Sawyer? Do you fancy Jack? Like, this was like the thing. Like, and I get it. I was there. I lived it. And if you're a Strange Things fan, you're going to school and you're talking about it. Oh my god, I'm a Lumax shipper, or I'm Big Byler fan, or whatever. I get it. But I'm just like, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm just going to sit back, watch some TV, and just enjoy it for what it is, and try not to get too stressed out about it. I feel like I'm just going on a big rant, but just time's different now. So yeah, I will 100% agree with this, Dusty. I didn't think we needed a 40-minute epilogue. 100%. They could have wrapped it up a lot quicker. Yeah, Kate and Sawyer. Actually, I'm a big Sawyer and Juliet fan. Is that controversial? I think Sawyer and Juliet, big into that. But yeah, so let's talk about the finale then. I think what we talked about, the general Stranger Things. The finale was 2 hours long. And obviously they did spend most of the time wrapping up everybody's story arcs at the end, so that they like defeated the big bad. Like, is that a spoiler? I guess, I don't know. They defeated the whatever. I mean, you can imagine that's probably what happened. That's what happens in most things. And then they spent like an hour to 40 minutes just like wrapping up everyone's stories. And yeah, that's nice. I think the problem is the cast is so massive. That's why they have to. It reminds me at the end of Journey's End, which I always hated, by the way. Or not quite. Well, kind of Journey's End, but also the end of time. The Doctor, before he regenerates, goes on like a big farewell tour. He's like, bye, Sarah Jane, bye, Captain Jack. And it takes 20 minutes. You're like, I get it, but like, we don't really need to see. Like, it's nice. It's a nice nod, but we don't really see it. So they do the same thing. It's like, I think it's because there's so many characters. And I already see people saying it. You would feel hard done by if your favourite character, you didn't see what happened to them after the events. You didn't see whatever. So they have to like satisfy everyone's story or whatever. But it was too long. I was like, oh, come on. All right. But otherwise, I think it was fine. I was into it. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think they did good. So I'm going to get into spoiler territory now. So close your ears or this is probably going to close out the stream, by the way. So if this is your out, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. But I'm going to dive into spoilers now. I realize, obviously, like, the show's only been out for, like, a day. But this is life these days. This is the way it is. It's up. The spoiler hand is up. How dare you? But then looking back, Juliet and Sawyer was way less toxic than Kate and Sawyer. Exactly. They lived a lovely life together. And I was sad. Alex Russo was my lost crush back in the day. See, that was what went on. Right. I mean, where do we begin? Let's think. Let's think. Where do we even begin about this? I thought it was fine. Obviously, Vecna, great. I feel like I'm just talking non-spoiler again. Okay, let's just talk about the ending. I liked the Mind Flayer coming back and being the ultimate big bad. Like, I think the guy who plays Vecna is great. He's good as Henry, he's good as Vecna. But I never really liked Vecna because he felt a bit hokey. Like, I always liked that the Demogorgon and the Mind Flayer were these creatures that we just couldn't understand because they didn't speak English. They were just, like, doing their instinctive animal behavior or whatever, like just killing things because that's what they did. But then Vecna added this sort of human aspect that I thought felt a little unbelievable. I was like, I know they show how he came to be, but in the 4th series, that is, and I was like, I don't know about this. I don't really believe this human creature was in charge of anything. So I did think it was nice that it was actually revealed that the Mind Flayer was the big bad overall, controlling Henry /1 / Mr. Whatsit / Vecna. I was like, thank God. And when he came and like that thing, I didn't call that thing that everything was happening, coming out and being like, and being the thing, and then all fighting it. That was cool. I was into that. And then them defeating the actual thing, them defeating Vecna was fine. Whatever. A lot of people didn't like how Elle got sidelined. The problem is there's too many characters, and you got to give everyone something to do, I suppose. Otherwise, they're not going to do anything. But yeah, I thought the showdown was cool. Oh, the bit that did get me though was when the music, the Stranger Things music started playing when they were fighting that, and I was like, oh, that was a nice touch. That was pretty cool when they were fighting it. Anyway, that was cool. That was kind of fun. Looked like a Resident Evil boss fight. Very true. That is true. And then, yeah, there's this 40-minute wrap-up of how everyone's doing. I didn't really need to see Joyce and Hopper and the engagement. Like, it's so weird because, like, Winona Ryder was, like, the star of the show at the beginning, and then she just got more and more sidelined as the show went on. It was like, oh, yeah, she's in it. And then she got to have the final blow on Vecna. And then I'm glad that they got a happy ending, but I think I could have been cool with just seeing them living their life happy and looking after, like, you know, being proud of Will or whatever, and just insinuating that they probably stayed together. It's fine. Like, even though it was funny that they said they were going to move to another beach town, which is the town that inspired Hawkins in the show, where they also apparently did experiments on children. That was kind of funny. But, and that was a bit long. I didn't need that. I also didn't need the scene to be as long with Steve and Robin and Jonathan and Nancy. Like, I get it. Again, you've got to see all the characters because Steve's a big popular character. Obviously, I like what happened to him, that he became a coach, and that was kind of cool. I also like that Nancy didn't have to be caught up in the love triangle. She just, like, broke free of that. I was like, cool. Because I think it got a bit silly, though. Who's Nancy going to be with Jonathan and Steven? Actually, it's not. Because the other unrealistic thing is childhood sweethearts. Like, so we have Max and Lucas. We have, obviously, Nancy, Jonathan, Steve, Nancy, or whatever. And also Elle and Mike. Who, by the way, Elle and Mike have, like, zero chemistry. Like, when they were showing that flashback, I felt like when they're, like, kids, they do. But I was like, they never really looked happy together. I think the last time they looked happy together was the beginning of season 3. Then after that, they just never really interact with each other. I know it's not always like you got to kiss each other all the time, but they just kind of give each other these lukewarm hugs and then just have serious chats with each other. And even in that end bit when she's talking to him, I'm just like, there's just nothing there. I just don't feel it. It was like, oh, I love you at season 4. It just feels a bit forced at this point. But I feel like Lucas and Max do feel genuine. But at the same time, how many people do actually stay, like, have, like, a boyfriend? Like, I had a boyfriend when I was, like, 11. I never see this person ever again. We weren't even, like, all we did was, like, hang out with each other more than anybody else. That's all that really happened. Like, it's unlikely that the people you meet at this age are going to be the one. I mean, yeah, maybe it can happen, but whatever. So I do feel that's a bit unrealistic. That if, you know, what happened with Elle and Mike hadn't have happened, they probably would have still stayed together and been together. Same with, that felt a bit unrealistic to me. So I'm glad that Nancy didn't stick with either one, because that felt a bit more like, that's life. She's moving on, whatever. So yeah, that scene was a bit long-winded. I did like the D&D scene at the end, when you know, they're playing the final campaign, which also I was like, okay, this is a nice throwback, because that's where it started and that's where it's ending. But also feels a bit weird that they're all like adults now and they're still playing D&D. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just felt like a bit forced. That they're like back in the room, like, yeah, we're gonna do it again, even though we probably haven't played for years. But and then they put their books. But you know what? I'm gonna forget that, because I did think it was a really nice scene, especially with Mike explaining, you know, what he believed happened at the end. I think that was a nice reveal of that, because before you just thought that, well, by the way, Elle might have died, just in case you haven't watched this and you're just listening to me. Hitting my glasses. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, and it's up to your interpretation whether Elle did survive, or if it was just Mike trying to like cope with grief, and that's his way of trying to believe that she is out there and maybe one day they can find each other, which I thought was really sweet, actually. I think it's sad, obviously, that he got a sad ending, but it probably was the only one. Not, I don't say that she had to like kill herself, but she is right. If she exists and people know she exists, then they will just keep finding her and coming after her because they want this weapon. She had to like at least look like she wasn't around anymore. So I don't know where I stand on, do I believe that she's alive or do I believe she's dead? I don't know. I feel like it's difficult to say either way, because like the way that she escaped the vans, like, how did she do that? When did they plan all this? I don't know. But I think for the happy ending, let's believe that she's out there and that Mike will find, although I don't think Mike will ever find her. But then I also think that's quite a sad life, that she's just out there. I don't think that's believable. Even though it's a nice fairy tale story ending, I don't think it's believable that she would just got away and just escaped. But I think it's nice. I think it's nice. Anyway, and then putting the books away was kind of sweet. Like, you know, the end of their stories, and then the next generation come down and play D&D. I will say, everyone, when the credits rolled, even though I thought it was a fine ending, I felt emotional. I was like, wow, this thing that's sort of been a constant in my life for 10 years is over. And that was kind of weird. Like, there was points of it where I felt a bit choked up, I'm not going to lie. Like, I was like, damn, like, everyone's obviously like, this is a big thing. And obviously I felt like for the people in the show as well, it's been a big part of their lives too. And now it's come to an end. Yeah, I was moved by it, to be honest. And I'm glad, obviously, I didn't get spoiled. I watched it in the thing. Mike's explanation is plausible, so I'm tending to believe it. Yeah, do we believe? We believe. What happens to Max? Max survives, and her and Lucas seem like a very lovely couple, to be honest. They could have done a Richard Curtis photo montage instead of the 40 minutes of exposition. The only bit that really made sense was seeing the bit at the end with the D&D game. And yeah, I agree. Like, that did feel right to me. But all the other stuff was too long. Yeah, we've watched the kids grow to adults, and whilst it wasn't my favourite show, like it became less and less my favourite show, it was something I guess I did look forward to, and it did mean a lot to me at a certain point. Like, I've got Stranger Things pajamas because I really enjoyed it at the time. And I was like, oh my god, Primark has some Stranger Things pajamas, I'm gonna buy it. But yeah, it's kind of sad, and I think I will rewatch the whole thing just to see, because I feel like now I should rewatch season 4 because I just didn't really gel with it the first time. But maybe I need to, like, you know, reassess it and see if it's any better. Like, there are also calls like the Vecna bong bong. Like, that was really cool and really creepy. I also wanted to watch 3 again. Like, me and Beth, we went to do the the Stranger Things secret cinema, where we went to the mall and everything. That was pretty cool. So it was something I'm really interested in. And off the back of it, me, Imogen, and Tasha, we're going to go and watch the Stranger Things Broadway show in London in March. So that's going to be fun, because like all 3 of us enjoyed watching it. And I was like, why don't we all just go and watch the theatre play? So we're going to do that. So overall, I thought it was good. The Vecna stuff, I thought the reveal of, I suppose I didn't need the whole explanation of what the Upside Down was, but I didn't really care, to be honest. Like, okay, it's a wormhole, there's a Dimension X. I don't really know why Vecna really wanted to merge the worlds. Like, what does he get from that? I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it's more the Mind Flayer that wants to, like, merge the worlds to but those are all semantics. Just enjoy the story or whatever. I did what was I thinking about? I was just thinking about something before I got into that. Oh yeah, the backstory about Henry. Like I did like his we found out a little bit of like how this kind of started with him picking up whatever that stone was, and then him being infected by the mind flayer. We were trying to reach out to him, but he still said no. Like I was hoping like, please don't be a redemption and he goes good, because that just feels a bit corny. So I'm glad they didn't do that. And then you kind of like, also some things are supposed to be a mystery. They can't be like, and then this stone was like a meteorite from the sun or whatever. Like, enjoy a bit of mystery so that you can like, make up your own theories or whatever. You have something to talk about. If everything's just presented to you, it's a bit lazy as the viewer, I think. Like just to be spoon fed, whatever. But I thought it was cool. Them giving you a little bit of insight, but not too much, because it's still like got to be a cool mystery at the end of the day. You gotta have things to talk about with your friends and what you think's gonna happen. So that was cool. Yeah, I'm so glad they didn't randomly decide to kill off characters because it was finishing. It definitely didn't need to do that. So thumbs up for me. Yeah, I also like this. I feel like there's like an expectation on a finale that people must die. And I actually really enjoyed that no one did die. Even Elle didn't really. Oh, actually, the only person who did die, who I did think would die, was Callie, because no one likes her and she's not as. Who cares? So I thought she was going to die. Everyone else is like, no one is dying. Again, it's a children's show now. People don't die. I think people would riot. Like, even though people want to see someone die, I also think people would riot if someone died. Like, people can't make up their minds. Like, people went crazy when Eddie died. Like, and he was just a one-season character. Them killing anybody else. If they killed Steve, the Steve fans like, oh, I can't believe they killed Steve. There would be anarchy. Like, when I knew that no one was going to die? When Steve falls off and it cut to black, I was like, Steve's either dying right now or he's not dying. When he didn't die, I was like, no one's dying. Like, that's it. Like, that was the moment. If they were going to do something to pull the trigger, then that was what happened. No one is dying in this show. And I'm okay with that. Like, I think that's nice. The party won. The whole thing's basically a D&D game anyway. Like, a lot of things happen with luck and chance and whatever. Like, I thought it was nice. I think sometimes it's a bit predictable killing people off. Like, it was a subversion to not kill anybody off. Even Elle, which I was surprised that they killed Elle off, I was like, damn, they actually did it. But then they did the ending where maybe they didn't do it, and I thought that was quite nice. So yeah, I thought it was cool. That's really good to hear. My parents saw the theatre show and loved it. Yeah, I like going to the theatre every once in a while. So that's, I guess, my big thoughts on Stranger Things. It's come to an end. I'm trying to think of other shows that I watched come to an end, like Lost, Heroes, even though that was terrible. The ending for that. Person of Interest, I remember that coming to an end. The 100, but I think that's the thing. Like, some of these shows go on too long, and by the time the ending comes, you're just not as invested anymore. Like, I feel like Stranger Things was getting to that point, but because it was so popular, it managed to keep itself afloat. But yeah, I think this is the most impactful ending that I remember in a long time. Like, I think I put this one up there with Lost. I never watched Walking Dead and Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad. I'm sure those were also big ones as well that people wanted to see. I know it's a 14, but like, you were watching things that were TV 14. Like, children are going to watch things that are older. And I honestly think, also, that's exactly the demographic. It's the preteens, like, it's the teenagers, it's the kid. Like, people, I'm sure a 10-year-old has found Stranger Things because they see it in the store. Like, I was in America before the show came out in November. Target was full of Stranger Things, and that's when I was like, this is for kids. Like, it was next to the kids' toys section, just littered with things from season 5 that I had no clue what they meant, because obviously these were all things to do with season 5. Like, they had the Squawk Tower stuff, they had all of the other stuff, they had a little like photo booth thing. Like, it's they're trying to appeal to like the kids. Like, people love this show of all ages, but it's definitely like Toy Story. Toy Story isn't ending because kids are where the money is. The kids want the thing for Christmas. Oh, the parents have got to buy it. Monies. The kids have the money somehow, even they don't have the monies. But that's just my opinion. I know that's my controversial opinion of the show. Much like Marvel is also for children. Not that that's a bad thing, though. I was playing Fireman Sam earlier. That's not a diss on the show. Me saying I just don't think it tackles adult themes in the same way as other shows do. Like, it's for everyone. But maybe it's more of a family show. Maybe saying it's for kids is maybe a bit of a disrespect. Everyone in the family can watch it, and it's okay. You're not being like, little Jimmy, you need to go to bed because mum and dad are going to watch someone shooting up heroin. I don't know. Is that what happens in Breaking Bad? I'm not sure. So yeah, I didn't watch Game of Thrones. So I also didn't have that, which that was another big ending. Anyway, I have talked for so long. This has almost been a 2-hour show, everyone, but I just had a lot to talk about today. So I'm glad that you've been here. I'm going to stop talking about Strange Things. I've got it out of my system. Also, drones are the way forward. So thank you for watching today's episode of Locking It Down with Lucy. I'm going to just go back through a couple of comments if anyone does have anything. I don't understand this postponing the splitting of the season to 3 parts. Just bloody release all the episodes. Yeah, I think that was just for Netflix so that they get all the subscriptions. I also liked the Ellen Max thing, but they kind of dropped the friendship in favor of separate romance. Yeah, I liked seeing her have a girl best friend. Like that was really nice, that connection. And I do think it's a shame that they didn't really hang out more. Also, just saying, I think each subsequent season was slightly worse. Although the season where they split the Russia and US, because the California storyline was also bad. In season 4, there was just too much going on, too many different plot threads. It was just a bit much. So yeah, I think a lot of people who hate the ending, I think just try and enjoy life. I don't think it was that bad. It was fine. Breaking Bad is about meth. All right, okay. Hi Lucy, hope you're doing well. I'm currently working on Platinum 580 and PS4 version of Miles Morales and then Mafia Old Country for my next goal of 600 platinums. Love your videos. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's all I've got. My God, 2 hours of Lucy streams is a good way to start the year. A big episode to begin the year. Sorry I talked about Redacted for so long, but I did have a lot of topics that I wanted to get through today, and I guess I'm just feeling talkative and, whatever. But lots of things are happening. So thank you so much for, again, all your continued support. It's much appreciated. I'm going to take a lie down. Actually, let me just finish my drink. Cheers. Happy New Year. And I shall see you all in the future. I will let you know what plans transpire for hanging out with my friends to let you know. But let's look at the poll. Have you set any goals for New Year's? 47% of you are saying yes, but 53% of you are saying no. The next stream will probably be next week, either Thursday or Friday. I'll just put a message in the Lock It Down with Lucy chat when I know. I just don't know what day they're going to pick. And then after that, it'll be Fridays, continues. Streams, I do need to work out on my stream schedule is. I have some games that I do want to stream, even if they're like one-offs or whatever. I just need to find the time. To do it, to be honest. But yeah, I'm thinking about maybe taking my capture card to the US so I can actually stream there too. But I'd have to work out the timings. I'm kind of tentatively thinking if I was to stream in the US, maybe waking up in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday and streaming at about 10 o'clock, which would be about like 6 o'clock UK time. So that's a tentative. But yeah, I've got some things in that I want to do for sure. I'll be there until the end of February. So that's why I'll take my capture card. It's been a while since I've gotten to watch, so missed your energy. This was great. Oh, guys, thanks. You always bring the energy to me. Like, I feel like I'm always like, and then I do the show and I'm like, yeah. So yeah, please bear with me. I'm trying, once I get all this redacted words sorted out, I'm hoping I'll have just more free time. I really want, like I said, I really want to try and like kick myself up the butt to get myself motivated so I'm less like slouchy and just, I don't know, I just want to feel like I'm doing things, but doing things is also playing the PlayStation, because I also need to play the PlayStation to talk about the games or whatever. But I want to do less scrolling for sure, less lounging around, less lying in bed. I'm gonna try really hard, just get a good schedule going. Okay, I'm talking too much now, but I hope you're all well. Hope you're having a good start to your new year, and I shall see you in the future. Hopefully a new video will drop at some point this week, but again, I've got to get on my editing to do that, so I'm hoping to get that done. But I have something as well. I don't know how loud this is going to be. We shall see. But as we end the show here, we have something happening. So thank you all for watching. This has been Locking It Down with Lucy 268. I shall see you all on the other side in the future. Big shout out to Chris J to putting together this outro music. Super cool. I don't even have to say it anymore. So I'm going to leave this playing for a bit so you can hear the full outro. But I shall see you all next week. Goodbye, everyone.